Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? It's your boys back live at Diamond Owl Studios. This right here is the handsome Diamond Don wannabe.
And this is the one and only big old
Well, don't even say.
bleep. Just use your imagination. Paper Chase back in the house once again.
So I gotta come clean to the audience about something. Do you
Okay.
know how many times we start a video and he just drops like a big F-bomb or something right in the first 5 seconds of the video, and we're like, dude.
Like I literally just did that and we re-recorded it because it's not good to, start cursing right away.
Hey,
So it was
we're a
one time.
family-friendly audience here. We
Yeah.
really, really are.
So you're saying one time,
Mm-hmm.
maybe
No, all the
twice?
time. You do it all the time,
Do I really?
every day.
I'm just trying to sauce it up and, keep him on his toes,
That's right. Well, without further ado, what are we listening to today, bro?
I honestly don't know. You said that we're going to do a Linkin Park video, and here's the thing. I do not know a ton about Linkin Park. Obviously, like I grew up in the era where this was their peak, like in the 90s, but I never really dove into their music. I know like their bigger songs or bigger hits because they were unavoidable. They're all over, the radio. People were playing them. But this song, Lost, I have no idea when it came out, if it's like a re-release or, it was released and they added like visuals to it, like from an old song. Like I have no clue.
See, I don't actually know this song either. If I hear it, I might know it. But we were recommended by some friends to watch this one. So this is the official music video. I'm very, very familiar with Linkin Park. This was like the band that was massive when I was a kid. Everybody loved Linkin Park. I loved, I was devastated when Chester Bennington passed away. And yeah, but so when I saw this song come up and somebody recommended it to us, I was like, wait, I've never heard Lost, I don't think. So I was like, we got to check this one out.
Hey, we're both lost, but we're about to be found. So here we go.
Just a scar somewhere down inside of me, something I cannot repair, even though it will always be. I pretend it isn't there. This is how I feel. I'm trapped in yesterday, where the pain is all I know. And I'll never break away, 'cause when I'm alone, I'm lost in these memories, living behind my own illusion, lost all my dignity, living inside my own confusion. But I'm tired, I will always be afraid of the damage I've received, broken promises they made, and how blindly I believed.
Bro, this is just, I miss Linkin Park so much. I know that they're still like around touring. They have a new vocalist, but it's not and never will be the same. And I mean, I respect it. I respect that they're still going. I respect they're doing their thing. But man, like this is like prime childhood memories and vibes and nostalgia. And it's the best. I love it.
I mean, honestly, it's kind of hard to listen to when you think about, his
Mhm.
passing and like listen to the lyrics and what he's
Yeah,
saying.
I
Like,
know.
I mean, that last line, what is it saying about like the pain that he'd received and like,
Mm-hmm.
man,
It makes, yeah, it's a lot of artists, especially with that level of talent, you can hear a lot of
Mhm.
their cries for help in their songs and stuff. And
yeah, I think it's a way of like being therapeutic, trying to get those emotions out of you. And it just goes to show you that it's like you could be at this level of like fame and, success and, adoration, doing shows, to sold out crowds, all these things, but like still have this internal struggle that's going on. In some ways, I mean, it's kind of messed up, but it is kind of comforting to realize like, hey, you're not alone in the sense that like the struggle is real. It doesn't matter what
Mhm.
you have, that, you know, there are these things in life sometimes and traumas or pain that you're dealing with, that it's like there's no amount of money or whatever that can cover up. It's just,
Mhm.
you know, so I think that's why their music is so relatable to a lot of people. But, you know,
Yeah, and going back to what you said, like you know, it can be a way to kind of like get it out and express
mhm.
yourself. And honestly, you know, I listen to a lot of sad music. I guess I don't know. It's one of my favorite like types of music to listen to. You know,
Yeah.
honestly, and it's just because there, I think some of the most beautiful art comes from pain and you know your own internal suffering. That that's the most beautiful, some of the most beautifully written songs in the world
Mhm.
are about pain that somebody's going through. And as
Yeah.
much as that it's terrible and it's the, you know, the tragedy that happened to him, it's, you know, it's heartbreaking, but at the same time, you know,
I
it,
think for a lot of people it's relatable.
yeah, it's so relatable, and he
Mhm.
created so many incredible songs from that pain that,
Mhm.
you know, it's sad and devastating, but it also is very special, you know.
I agree.
I will never break away. Cause when I'm alone, I'm lost in these memories, living behind my own illusion, lost all my dignity, living inside my own confusion. I try to keep this pain inside, but I will never be alright. I try to keep this pain inside, but I will never be alright. I try to keep this pain inside, but I will never be alright. I try to keep this pain inside, but I will never be alright. I'm lost in these memories, living behind my own illusion, lost all my dignity, living inside my own confusion.
Yeah, some of those lyrics, it doesn't get any more like
Sorry, that's
cry.
my nervous laughter.
Yeah, there's nothing funny about this, bro. But you know, I tried to keep this pain inside, but I'll never
Mhm.
be all right. Like there's nothing more like like crying out for help than that. You know,
Yeah, I mean that
like
to me that's like a perfect explanation of, you know, everything that we were kind of alluding to, just like the having that internal turmoil. And so I might get some flack for this, but this is why I didn't listen to music like this,
mhm.
because there's a concept of like rumination. Do you know what that means? Or like that concept of like ruminate basically means like going over something
Yeah,
over and over all the time in your head. And it could be anything. It could be a breakup. It could be, you know, whatever. So it's just this concept of getting trapped in these cycles of rumination, of thinking about these negative thoughts over and over again, these
hmm,
like doom spirals
yeah,
mentally. So like I've gone through enough stuff in my life that, you know, I avoided music like this because I'm like, I don't think that's good for me to like listen to music that reinforces those thoughts in my head, because I already have those thoughts and
yeah,
I don't want to listen to anything that's going to, you know, put me in that train of thought.
hmm,
And that's a big reason why I stopped listening to like a lot of hip hop music, because a lot of it was based off of like, you know, just certain things. Like, you know, I think hip hop was more of like taking the pain and turning it into anger in some ways, but even that's unhealthy. So when I
hmm,
started realizing that, it's like, hey, I got to be aware of like the things I'm putting in my body, just like you're eating food. You know, if you, it's good to have junk food every now and then, but like if you're constantly listening to sad music or angry music or watching, you know, tuning into like social media that's
hmm.
like, you know, divisive, like it's going to have an effect. So,
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you'll get flack for that because I think everybody knows that and understands that energy is real. You know, like
yeah.
whatever you consume, whatever you like, even self talk. You know, like I'll make
Hmm.
a joke sometimes. I'm like, you know, oh, I'm so stupid. You're like, don't say that. I'm like, but it's true. You know, like energy is so important,
Yeah.
and you know, for me, it's like, you know, I'm totally conscious that I do that. Like, if I'm in a
Mhm.
really sad, negative, bad mood, I love putting on my little sad songs and
Yeah.
just even like dwelling in it even more. And that's just a way that I process it. But even I understand that. Like, if you're driving around, it's a
Mhm.
sunny day, you want to have a kick ass day, you're trying to stay in a great mood, you're not going to put on the sad music. You're going
Yeah.
to put on something, you know, vibey and, you know, something that's going to keep your spirits high. So, and I think, you know, I think that that's totally okay. I think that's actually
Mhm.
very, you know, very like conscience of you.
Mhm.
What's the word?
Conscious.
Yeah, conscience. Yeah, I can't say that word ever, dude. But I feel like that's, you know, that's a good thing to
Well,
keep that in mind. You know,
I
like,
recognize that it's different for other people because the way that I interact with music like that is that it makes me feel sadder, and I'm like, that's not good for me. I think other people will hear this, and I think a big part of it, like I was saying, is that I think it was a form of self therapy of trying to like
mhm.
get those feelings out because talking about your, you know, the things you're going through is good versus just keeping it bottled up because. A lot of times you'll just be like dealing with this stuff and it seems so big. And it's like, okay, when you talk to somebody, they're like, it's going to be all right, man. It's not as
Yeah.
bad as you think. The world isn't falling. Like, you're going to be okay. Just do this, this, and this. And it's like, oh, you're right. I just got wrapped up in it.
Mhm.
You know, so some people relate to it as more of a therapeutic thing, like you, when you listen to it, it's like, hey, it kind of puts me in that mood, but it also helps me probably get rid of those feelings and process them.
Mhm.
I just deal with it different. So it's just different.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and I just guess I grew up listening to like emotional music in general,
Mhm.
and a lot of people like they hear it, they're like, "Bro, why are you so sad?" I'm like, honestly, half the time I don't even like process it as
Yeah.
sad music. Like this song, if I really was not doing a reaction and trying to be like, you know, really paying attention to the lyrics and stuff, I probably would have just been jamming out and not even like
Mhm.
really getting the message of how it being so sad. And I mean, I would hear it and I'd understand that, but I just wouldn't
Mhm.
process it that way because I'm just so used to listening to this type of
Yeah.
music.
And
Um,
like I said, I mean, I know we're kind of rambling, but I think this is an important subject. But yeah, I think for a lot of people that music like this makes you feel like seen and heard because you're like, I'm not the only one that's dealing with this. So it's
mhm.
like a different, you know, reaction to it. But
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. And you know, obviously not all of Linkin Park's songs are about that subject. They
Mm-mm.
have such a wonderful diversity of music, but you know, this song was clearly you know, pretty eye-opening to kind of his mind and what he was going through. But with that being said, rest in peace to Chester Bennington. We all miss him. You know, great, incredible artist. Wish he was still here with us, but
Yeah. And left a wonderful legacy.
absolutely. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like. If you want to join us on our journey of discovering new artists, old artists, and everything in between, make sure you hit that subscribe button.
Yes. And if you want to join us on our journey and you are one of those people that's impatient like myself, you can join the members page because we have a ton of content in there. You're going to see it before anybody else. And it's a great way of interacting with us and supporting the channel. So we love you. Thank you.
We'll see you next time.
Peace.